This is, without a doubt, hands down, the craziest drywall patching system we've ever seen, let alone used. And we're pretty confident it'll be the same for you. Providing a rapid and sturdy backing for any drywall patching situation, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to be the first to introduce you to the wall web. Now let us show you how it works. So you got a hole in your wall. It's there. We don't need to talk about how it got there, but it's there. So what do you do now? Well, there's a number of ways you can go about patching your drywall hole, but no matter what you do, you're gonna need a backing so that your filler has something to bond to. And that's where the wall web comes in. This satellite-looking device not only provides solid backing, but it braces itself off the opposing structure to allow for, well, support so that you can patch on top of it. I know, it's crazy. You're gonna be patching on top of this device. But before we get to patching anything, we're gonna wanna make sure that we remove any loose debris from the front and the back side of our hole so that our new patch has a nice surface to bond to. And just like that, we're ready to install the wall web. The first step is to activate the arms and free the center tab so that you have something to hold on to once the device is in the hole. Then, while holding the center tab, bundle the arms back up into their original position and slide the wall web into the hole. Should look something like this. In fact, it looks exactly like this because that's what we're doing here. Once the device is fully inserted into the wall, pull back on the center tab until the arms fully extend. Now it's hard to see, but we're going to show you outside so you know what's happening. By pulling on that center tab, you're extending the arms to a point where they lock into position and provide sturdy backing. And once the arms are locked into position, it's time to secure the wall web in place by extending the back foot until it wedges itself between both walls in the cavity. Does that make sense? You're basically unscrewing the back foot until it extends to the point where it hits the back wall, then it wedges itself between the back of the front wall and the back wall. That might sound confusing, but all you're really doing is extending the wall web until it hugs both sides of the wall and holds itself in place. You'll know when it's locked in because you'll feel it getting tighter, and at that point, you can push the center tab in and voila, you've got new backing that you can punt. No, well, you could actually. It's sturdy, it's ready to be patched over. And that's precisely what we're about to do. Now, it may seem crazy because this is quite a well-engineered device, and we're just gonna cover it up with spackling, some heavy-duty spackling that will prevent shrinking and cracking. Because this particular system actually calls for no tape on the front. So make sure you use a high-quality spackling or compound that's designed not to shrink, because this patch is gonna require quite a lot of mud. Now, traditionally, we would probably apply some form of tape on the front just to ensure that it's not going to crack, but this system doesn't call for any, so we wanted to stick as true to the label as we could, so we didn't use any. Now, what you'll notice at this point is that we're making sure to smush the mud all the way through the webbing so that it bonds with the wall web as best as possible. So make sure that when you put your mud on the first coat, that you firmly embed that first coat into the webbing of the wall web. And after you've got it fully filled up, you can use a larger trowel to skin it over and make sure that it's smooth. Because this is a particularly deep patch, we chose to do this in several coats as well. So rather than filling one large coat up and waiting for that to dry, we found it better to do several passes of slightly thinner coats. And using a compound that sets up quickly, or even a catalyzed mud or a hot mud, would really speed things up here. And because there's no tape on the surface of this patch, we don't have to build it up at all. There's no edges to cover or anything like that. So once you've filled that hole and it's dry, it's ready to sand, and it'll be virtually impossible to find. Although, there it is, right there. No, that's only because the mud we use is a different color. But it's ready to paint. And so paint we shall, just to show you that this patch, when completed, is completely invisible. And because there's no tape, it's flush. It's as smooth a patch as you'll ever get. Now the question is, will it hold up without cracking over time? Well, it's certainly well supported, and technically there is tape on the back, but we're not entirely sure. All we know so far is that we installed this a week ago and it hasn't cracked yet. So you're gonna have to check in 2027 for the wall web update on Crackgate. So there you have it, folks. Without a doubt, by far the most technologically advanced wall patching system that exists on this planet. We're confident we can say that because look at this thing. Thanks for watching. Let us know what you think in the comments below, or don't. Either way, thanks for watching.